Welcome to another intense look at nature's raw power. Today, we're witnessing a formidable storm in the beautiful state of Florida, USA. This level 15 drama unfolds in a corner of Fort Myers Beach, all captured by our diligent surveillance cameras. If you find this video both amazing and informative, don't forget to support the director by liking, commenting, and sharing. Watch as the storm surges and seawater floods the area, delivering a double punch of devastation. This footage not only brings you face to face with the power of nature, but also offers valuable lessons in emergency preparedness during a crisis. Let's dive into the action. Pay attention to this house as the storm intensifies. The seawater begins to surge, rising faster than you can imagine. The first wave inundates the beach, submerging billboards and trees to more than half their height. Keep an eye on the stairs of this house. The visual depth of the water exceeds the meters, and this is just the beginning. As the second wave crashes in, the waves reach the camera, almost drowning it. Across the street, you can see a house being lifted by the water's buoyancy, eventually swept away by the relentless surge. This scene resembles a tsunami, showcasing the terrifying force of the hurricane. Despite the beauty of this country, such natural disasters are a stark reminder of nature's might. Now, as the third wave invades, the previously swept-away house vanishes from sight. Finally, we'll show you the aftermath, the chaotic scene post-disaster. Comparing the original scenery to the aftermath, the almost unrecognizable, it still holds a haunting beauty. Stay tuned, stay safe, and marvel at the sheer force of nature. This footage was captured a few days ago on January 12, 2024, in beautiful California. Torrential rains have led to severe flooding of the Salinas River, submerging numerous homes and infrastructure. After the New Year's earthquake, California faces another challenge with the flooding of the Salinas River. Persistent heavy rains have caused the river's water level to rise, overflowing its banks and inundating vast areas, including private homes, roads, and essential infrastructure. Join us as we follow the drone's perspective to survey the devastation. Many roads are partially flooded, but still passable because they are elevated. However, the residential areas have not fared as well. We see a two-story house with its first floor completely submerged. Count the number of cars on this side. Were they parked in the yard, or did the flood waters wash them away from the roadside? Shifting our perspective, we see that houses and cars on the other side have also succumbed to the flood waters. At another location, the water level is even higher, completely flooding roads and plains, making them impassable. The impact of this flood is substantial. While we don't find joy in the misfortunes of others, it's important to note the past cynicism from their media when disasters struck our beautiful country. Objectivity and fairness are crucial, even when the scenes are grim. Natural disasters frequently visit the United States: earthquakes in California, volcanoes in Hawaii, hurricanes in Florida, tornadoes in Texas, and the Yellowstone River's occasional flooding. The Salinas River flood is another example of nature's power. Besides natural forces, inadequate river management and disaster prevention measures play a role. The so-called lighthouse country often falls short in these areas, contrary to popular belief. There's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. Why are these people so excited? Some are clapping with joy, others are rushing around, and a young man is almost screaming with excitement. It seems like something great has happened in the village, but you wouldn't believe it. They're actually thrilled because a flood is coming soon. Yes, these villagers are really outrageous. Their lack of fear in the face of the impending flood is even scarier. Soon, they will witness the great power of nature. Just a few minutes ago, a patrol officer from the River Management Office went door to door, notifying everyone that due to torrential rain upstream, the water level has reached the flood control threshold, and there's going to be a significant spill. But as you can see, these villagers are so accustomed to it that they don't care. Some are even excited. The ranger's safety notice seemed to excite them as if they were receiving news of a village demolition instead of a flood warning. Follow the director to see what they have done. Villagers are gathered on both sides of the river, chatting and watching the impending flood. One woman boldly stands at the bridgehead, filming the approaching water. A guy on a motorcycle drives onto the bridge, asking someone to pose for a photo. This small suspension bridge, usually empty, is now crowded with people eager to see the flood. They're piling up, afraid they won't get a good view. It's clear these people have never truly witnessed the terrifying power of floods. This kind of reckless complacency is a recipe for disaster. At first, the current wasn't large, but it soon rose rapidly, flooding the riverbanks. The real danger of a flood lies in its rapid escalation, making people mistakenly think they can handle it, only to be overwhelmed. The houses on either side of the river were soon flooded. Those watching for fun likely didn't build their homes there, underestimating the power of the water. As the water level rises, it strikes an old bridge, putting it at risk of being washed away. Yet, the people on the bridge remain unconcerned. This time, the bridge luckily withstood the flood, but a few downstream structures weren't so fortunate. If you live near a river and there's upstream flooding, always follow the ranger's instructions. Keep an eye on water levels and be ready to evacuate at any moment. If the floodwaters have already overflowed, it's too late to transfer. Head to the nearest hillside, highland, or flood shelter immediately. Or climb to the roof of a tall building, a sturdy tree, or a high wall temporarily. If the flood continues to rise, these temporary refuges might not be safe. Act quickly to find life-saving equipment to escape. At this point, a door, table, chair, wooden bed, or large piece of styrofoam might help you survive. Whatever you do, Don't be as ignorant and fearless as the villagers in this video. Finally, always remember to maintain a sense of awe and respect for nature. Notice this temporary dam. Under the strong impact of the current, it slowly eroded and collapsed. Eventually, the whole levee broke and the flood waters began to pour in like a beast. The construction site in India was directly flooded. And this is NTP Channel. Every episode takes you on a journey to witness the power of nature and learn emergency knowledge during crises. If you find this video wonderful and useful, remember to support the director by liking, commenting, and sharing. This footage is from India, where the flood season is arriving. The river level skyrocketed, and the raging water brought a significant risk of flooding. On the side of the main river, there's a construction site. The project involves building a diversion dam to divert water from the main channel or to harness the water's potential for a hydroelectric power plant. The idea is sound, but their engineering, much like their fighter jets, often falls short. As the flood season approached, the temporary dam at their construction site was not reinforced. When the flood hit, the impact of the current increased suddenly, and the temporary dam couldn't withstand it. Soon, the entire dam gave way, and the river flooded the construction site within minutes. Through the video, you can see several large pieces of equipment submerged. It's unclear if other critical water conservancy equipment is also affected, as the video doesn't show everything. Despite the flooding below, people above seemed unfazed, wandering around as if nothing happened. This nonchalance could lead to significant losses, far beyond initial expectations. Once the flood waters recede, the site will need to be drained and desilted before construction can resume. The delay and damage could incur direct losses and additional costs from construction delays. If the flooding damages large water conservancy equipment or if there are casualties, the construction site could face severe repercussions, including downstream flooding. The project manager might find themselves in serious trouble. Floods are like beasts, and precautions should never be neglected. Flood season requires serious preparation. Important engineering projects must have preventive measures in place before the flood season. People living near rivers should monitor water levels and protect themselves accordingly. Finally, let's look at the aftermath of the flood at the construction site. The project manager called in heavy machinery to begin the cleanup. The original construction site is filled with mud, and they are preparing to excavate and dredge. When it comes to generating engineering work, they certainly excel. Remember, always maintain a sense of awe and respect for nature. This is NTP channel. Each issue takes you directly to the scene of the disaster. Witness the shocking roar of nature. Favorite friends, remember to like and follow. See you in the next video.